Thank you so much. Yeah, I forgot to record it. Oof. Yeah, because in my account, once I started, I have it like record as I start. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm just gonna put it in my list. Yeah, so I mean, recording is one part of it, and I mean, feel free to DM me in the Discord. I am, you know, like once I am available, I will answer your questions. Okay, and I am pretty happy with answering questions because I enjoy that feeling of actually helping someone out. And yeah, sorry about this. I forgot this. And it's not on my account. Yeah. So any questions if you might have with when I was not recording, feel free to reach me out. Like any questions, I am pretty open to those. Okay. Yeah. And also thanks, Geoffrey, for reminding this. Yeah. Okay. So built-in functions are the things we have talked about. So yeah, internal functions do not create functions with names like those. Okay, and yeah, so next we are gonna move on to variable types. So integers, uh, as we are pretty familiar with integers, right? And one feature of integers in in Python is that there is no upper limit. And in languages like C or Java, there is two different kind of integers. There's integer, int, and a long, right? Like if you have like really large numbers in Java or C, it could be long, right? But in this case here, so I put a is equal to 1, print a, print type of a, so I still get integer, and I make a equals to a whole bunch of nines. I don't even know how much nines are there, but like I just, randomly adding those nines. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, and then after I run it, um, here, so I print a is equal to 1. The type of a is still integer, and I print a again and then print the type of a, it is still an integer. So that is an interesting behavior of Python. Python actually tries to resolve those problems for us already. Okay, and integers in different bases. So I do not know if you guys have learned different bases before. I will sort of mention it, and if you are interested in it, you can contact me through Discord. And yeah, I am just gonna briefly go through it without going too much depths. So yeah, for those ones who have not know those integers in different bases, so what we usually use in our real life is base 10, right? So base 10 means every time you count to 10, you increase one digit. So it's like you count from 0 to 9, and then after you add 1 to 9, then you'll get 10, which is 10, right? And in base 2, it means that every time you count to 1, uh, for example, 1 plus 1 in binary equals to 10, and 10 in binary actually means 2 instead of 10. Okay, and it is the same works for base 8. Uh, um, if you add 1 to 7, you'll get 10. And then base 16 is different. and then base 16 for your information goes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then actually goes like A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so A is 10, and then B is 11, etc., and F is 15. And then if you add 1 to F, you will get 1, 0 again, but the actual value in decimal is 16. Okay, so that is a quick lecture on integers and different bases. If you're interested, yeah, let me know. I can probably explain more or provide you with the article or a YouTube link so that you can watch on your own. Okay, yeah. So this part is here. So this can also be integers, and it can deal with integers with different bases. So if you do hex is equals to 0xa, right? And then you print hex, and then you print type of hex. So you will get 10. As I said here, A is 10. I don't think this uppercase or lowercase actually matters. Yeah, so you can do hex equals to 0xa, and then you'll still get class int. You will not get class hexadecimal, but like those still counts as int. Yeah, so binary is the one we use more often. Binary starts with 0b, 0b1, 1, and in binary means 3 because this one means 2, this one means 1. So 2 plus 1 gives you 3. Okay, and then if I add another 1 here, you're just gonna get 7, right? So this one means 4, and this one means 2, this one means 1, so it's just 7. Okay, so octo, sorry about that. Octo just means that it is base 8. So OCT equals to 0O. So the prefix of that is 0O, and then 17 in octo just means 8 plus 7. So this case is 15 here. And then those are types and its value. Okay, so yeah, that is that for integers in different bases. Okay, in Python there is a feature like this. So to increase the readability of an integer, you can use underscore in the integers to use as like commas in English, right? So sometimes you can see in English you would represent 1 million as this. So like comma, and then you can read it easily and then count like how many zeros are there. And in Python, you can also do something similar like this with a underscore. So when I run this, um, it would be like million is equals to 1 underscore 3 zeros and underscore 3 zeros, and printed, it will also, it will just be a million, and then you can just print the type of million. Yeah, and then you just run it, and it is still integer. Okay, so yeah, that is everything that I want to talk about for integer. Okay, next, floating point numbers. Um, Float and floating point numbers. So for decimals in Python, there is only one type of integer. There's only one type of uh, variable types, and it is called float. Okay. Oops. Ah. Yeah, sorry, I did something wrong. Yeah, this works. It's just a bad habit. Let me change that. Yeah, so floating point number. So for example here, f1 is equals to 3.1415. This is the first few digits of pi, and then you can print f1 and then print type of f1, and then you can see 3.1415, and the class of that will be float. Okay, so it is a floating point number, and also you can do this. So f2 is equal to 3.12 e to the 4. So if you guys did not know about the story of e, it is a scientific notation, right? So you would usually represent it as how many zeros are there. So in math, 3.12 E4 is just equals to 3.12 times 10 to the power of 4. Okay, so yeah, that's what it means. And here 3.12 E4 just means a float, has the class of float. And um, one interesting aspect of that would be, for example, I delete this and I run it again. So you would do like 3 to the e4. In this case would mean 3 times 10 to the power 4. But in here, it is followed by a point zero, and the class is still float. So yeah, the idea is when you are using a scientific notation like this, it is automatically a float instead of integer. Like even though you just provide an integer here, right? So it's just 3, it is an integer, but 3e4 means that it is 3 times 10 to the power 4, and it is actually a float. So this is something that we need to watch out here. Okay, and string. String is another variable types. It is pretty important. As Yeah, and we're gonna deal with it very heavily tomorrow. And I'm just gonna briefly talk about it today because we can focus on it tomorrow. This is just introducing different kind of variables. Okay, and string 1 is equal to one string. You can print that, and you can see here one string. String 2 is another string. You can print that, and the difference of string 1 and string 2 is that you see here, this is a single quote and this is a double quote. And in Python, you can use single quote or double quote alternatively to represent the strings. But you know, the quotes definitely needs to match each other. And what I mean by that is you cannot have a case like this. You cannot do this. This will give you an error. So at the start, you use a double quote, and at the end, you use a single quote. This is not allowed. So you need to be consistent about it. Okay. But like using single quotes or by itself or double quotes by itself are allowed, and it is both treated as strings and there is no difference between it. Yeah, so this one is tricky. Okay, it's gonna end in 10 minutes. Okay, this one is tricky. So I uncomment this. String 3 I am a coder. So for example, in one string, if you're gonna use a single quote, then Python interpreter will understand it as the end of the string, right? So like, for example, this is I, right? And then that is it for string three. And I do not know what you're talking about it next, right? And this is not what we mean, right? So this is, we mean that I am a coder, right? We write codes and you know that we just want to use the shorter form. And how do we actually do that? So this here, backslash, backslash is used as a escape character. And what it do is that, for example, I think especially it is used to escape those quotes. So single quote or double quotes, like there are other uses as well. And for now, I'm just gonna introduce this specific use case. So it can escape. So what this means is that treat this thing, treat this single quote as a part of the string instead of a string terminator, right? So well, the Python interpreter will say, yo, okay, so I am now gonna take this entire thing as a string and then use it for string four, right? And then like this, and then it works. The interpreter is happy. Uh, After printing another string, it says, I am a coder. We are happy because we are indeed coders. Yeah, so that is the idea of escape characters. And here, I am a coder as well. So this time we did not use escape characters. And the reason is that we are using a double quote as the start and the end of the strings. And this does not matter anymore because this is a single quote and the interpreter is only looking for another double quote. Okay, so this will be ignored. It is default in the string. Uh, yeah, so you could do other way around. Um, for example, you can do this, even though it does not make sense, but you can do this. So you use a single quote to quote the entire string and actually use a double quote inside a string. But like this is just an example to show you guys you can do this, but this is apparently not what we wanted because when we are using short form of I am, nobody use a double quote. Okay, yeah, and yeah, so this string six is just the idea of you can concatenate those strings. Uh, by I mean concatenate means you can attach those strings together. You can stick those strings together. Okay, and then by stick I mean string one, and then we use the operator which is plus. And this is not doing any kind of arithmetic. It is oh okay. Oh yeah, thanks Jennifer for upgrading this. Yeah, yeah. So let me continue here. String six is equals to string one plus end and plus string two, right? And then I would print the string. So here says one string and another string, right? So yeah, that is, a little bit of a basic manipulation of the strings. Okay. Oh yeah. There is. there is another example here. So here, those are strings with strings, right? But like, what if you want to, for example, contain a number inside of the string, right? What would you do then? So let me comment this line out, and let me delete this line. String 7 is equals to string 1 means, well, what I'm trying to do is one string means one string, right? But I use a number here. And in languages like Java or C, this has no problem, right? This is just gonna work just fine. But in Python, it does not. So it says can only concatenate string, not int, to string. So this means that when you're trying to concatenate a integer into a string, this is not allowed. Okay, and you know, one thing you might do is that this is called casting, and casting means that you know, you're changing from one variable type to another variable type, and you can cast this one here into string, right? And then this will work out just fine. So one string means one string. What you can also do for simplicity is do this, right? This will also work. You're just gonna make this into a string instead of a integer itself. But yeah, this is just you know, something to be careful with, and you know, I have met those bugs, and just wondering for a while before we actually get the answer. Okay, so booleans. What is booleans? Boolean means um, basically means true or false. Okay, and there's only like two types of value like this. Okay, so right is equals to true, and then we print right, and then we print right is equal to 1. So there, in this little box, we have a lot of new information here. Okay, so right is equal to true, um, and then we print right. Maybe we should add this. So type right, and just to show you what the type is. So right is equal to true, print right, we'll just print true. It is a different class. You would probably think that this is a string, but this is not. Okay, so if I do print type of right, you get Boolean. Okay, and Boolean is just Booleans here. Okay, and print right is equal to 1. Okay, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but usually in computer, true means 1, false means 0. And I mean, true can be like different value. True can be like uh, lots of value different than 1, but like, yeah, so a good way to talk about it is 0 means false and everything else could be true. Okay, but like this is a little bit of deep low level computer, um, like low level language such as C would use this pretty often. But yeah, that's why we have booleans. We are upper level language, we do not care about those. um, so as long as it is true, then you know, we just treat it as true. But this is just a fun fact for you to know. So true could be true. Right is equals to 1. This expression will give you true. Okay, but like sometimes sometimes you do not need needed because yeah, I will give you a little stuff to think about. Right equal to 1 is equivalent. Uh, equivalent. Ah, I forgot. I forgot how it spells. But this expression is the same as this expression, right? Okay, think about it. Because right, you're basically saying that true equals to true, and there is no difference between you saying true equals to true and true itself. Okay, yeah. So this is just a little bit of a mind challenge, and see if you can twist it your brain a little bit. Okay, and yeah. So the other value for Boolean is false, right? So wrong equals to false. Yeah. So oh yeah, here. Uh, I do not know if you have know this before, but there is a difference between single equal or double equal. Okay, and the difference between single equal and double equal is that single equal is means assignment. So you're basically saying that you're taking whatever value on the right, which here is true and here is false, and then you assign it to the variable. And when I mean assign it, I mean just give the value to it, right? So give your value to the value, give your value to this variable, right? In this case, this is right. And then now right has the value of true. But double equals, what double equal means is that it is equal, okay? Like double equal actually means equal. And I think we will definitely talk more about it in our conditions course. Conditions and loops, if else, and for loops and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, for now we just need to know that there is a difference. Single equal means assignment, and double equal means like the actual equal. Okay. And wrong equal, yeah, be assigned to false. Yeah, I have a habit of saying equal, like saying assignment as equal. This is not good, but yeah, just remember this. Single equal is not equal. It is assignment. Okay. Print wrong is false. Wrong equals to 0. So this is what I talked about it before. Wrong false is definitely 0, and then true should be able to be different values. Let me try it. Yeah, it's false. So officially it needs to be 1. Okay. Yeah, officially needs to be 1. So 0 for false and 1 for true. Okay. And that is a little bit about Boolean. Okay. And the last bit of our coding stuff, user input. And I mean, in Python, it is really easy. Message equals to input, and then bracket input a message. And then the value, whatever value you provide here is whatever value you provide here will be showed in the command line. So if you run this, it will actually give you, it will display an image. So like input a message. It's like hello world, the most classic one, hello world, and then you do, and then you print the message. You will have hello world, right? And then you just print the type of that message. Then it is string. Okay, and then you can try different input messages. So for example, you have number 89. Yeah, it still gives you a string, right? And you try number 3.14. Still, it gives you a string. So that is the behavior of a input. So whatever you type there, it will be automatically treated as a string instead of other kind of variables. Okay, and yeah, so that is pretty much it. The coding part that I'm gonna teach today, I feel like it is pretty heavy. Um, I mean, because there is also starters here. Um, yeah, and I don't actually want to talk for like the entire 2 hour because that is boring. So, oh, oops, there's one person in the chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just see this. Thanks, Jennifer, about upgrading it. Yeah. So right now, what my plan is, um, you guys can actually go ahead and try to download Python. Oh, before that, is there any questions or is there something that is not clear? You want me to explain more? I am taking up questions for the input. If we want to get a int, how to do it? That's a great question. I'm glad you want to think about it that way. So if we want to get a input that is int, then we probably need to first we're gonna take a string anyway, and then we are gonna later convert it into an int. Okay, and how do we convert it? For example, uh, I'll do it like this. So, for example, um, a number is equal to input. Please input a print a number. And then what we can do is we have a built-in functions. Remember that there is a list of built-in functions. Sorry about that, I just mistyped. Yeah. Oh, what I should do is like this. So, for example, I do a number is equal to int a number, print a number, and then print type a number. Okay, please input a number too. And then I just, sort of cast it. And by I mean cast, it's just converting types of numbers. Okay. And then, yeah. So if you're really bad, when bad, I mean, if you're evil, then you could do hi. And what will happen is it will give you arrow because it is trying to convert a string into an int for hi, and it does not work. Yeah, so I mean, one comment that I'm gonna make here is that sometimes for user inputs, you cannot really determine or decide what user is gonna input. So you are going to like pretty much think about every possible case that will happen. and that is a good habit. And even though we are not dealing with it right now, we are gonna deal with it sometime in the future. Yeah, and of course, if you want to continue your path on coding, yeah, you're gonna deal with it sometime in the future. So yeah, that is that. So yeah, is there any other questions that needs to be answered? Yeah. So I am I am probably gonna start a poll if I know how to do this. I do not host meetings a lot, but yeah. I am recording, right? Yeah. Any feedbacks for this method of notebooks? Like, do you guys prefer the notebooks way of doing it, or for example, I can do repo, or I can do it on my own computer with like Python interpreters on it. Like, which way do you guys prefer? It's a voting time, so I will probably start a vote since we only have like so many people. One for collab lab, two for um, two for repo, oh, three for local uh, interpreter, three for local computer. Yeah, so I just in a chat, I just trying to send out a little poll. You guys can type or can uh, respond to those, and I will just adjust what format of the what kind of format is more preferred. You guys are writing code here. I'm pretty surprised that you guys actually want repo. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a uh, I feel like this is a pretty, I mean, interactive way of doing this. Because, like, for example, if I am doing repo with such a kind of large large examples, I would like need a hell lot of I need a lot of files. And other times I probably need to erase stuff. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if I'm also waiting for other one's response. Why this chat is so dead? Everyone seems to be pretty shy. I mean, it is just a number, right? So I would honestly hope that you guys give me some feedback. You can use either one actually. Yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, one thing I like about this collab is that we can actually write text here, and then like I can write what I want to say in the same notebook. Uh, Other than that, because in the repo I would probably use comments, and that could be pretty messy, or I have to like write it on somewhere else. And I feel like it is just a good way of teaching. I don't know. It's me first time trying it. So yeah. Where are other people? Just give me some feedback, guys. Like it is just a number. You don't have to provide reasons. You know what? I am going to start a poll. One for I am gonna start a poll in oops, one for collab, two for repo, three for local computer, and I am just gonna start a poll in here. And if you guys like don't want to type here, then I would like hopefully where is the numbers? One, two, three, four. Okay, yeah, but like if you guys don't give me feedbacks, I'm just gonna do whatever I like. I think that is fair. Okay, I think that is fair. Okay, for sure. So I'm just I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do those. And actually, another thing that I want to show, um, you can save a copy in GitHub, and I can do it later. But if you guys have ever used GitHub before, those notebooks works pretty well on GitHub. And I mean, GitHub is a very good way to share code and share resources like in terms of coding. So I would I would definitely save a copy in GitHub, and I can provide my GitHub link so that everyone can have access to it. Okay. And that is the aspect of lecture one. Oh, actually, we do have a slide. Okay, so I am gonna quickly go through the slide, but everything in the slide, I have talked about it very detailedly in the collab, so you all should be fine with it. There is some kind of practice questions at the end, and yeah, if you guys want, it will be great. So to use as a simple practice or like a review of it. So yeah, I am just gonna go through this for now. So introduction to computer programming with Python. Introduction, programming may be scary, but it really isn't. Programming languages are translated into binary by compilers. Yeah, so and programming code is executed sequentially. It would make sense if you just execute it from top to bottom. Commenting. This is this is stuff that we already talked about it before. Programming code can be difficult to read, even for successful computer programmers, because sometimes you write a masterpiece, chunk of code, and not everyone can understand it. And this is sort of like explaining what you did there. And when you're working on with those large code bases, then you would definitely need some sort of comments. And in fact, for each class, there is a specific way to comment it. And yeah, even though, it is extra work, it is not programming itself, but like it is a good habit. And, you know, everyone is reading your code will be appreciated. Like even yourself, like I have conditions, I have met conditions like I have written this piece of code 1 year ago, and then I look at it back. I do not know what I was doing. And, those extra time and extra effort is, if we can avoid those, it will be great, right? Yeah, so this is especially true if a long period of time has passed since you have written the code or if it's being edited by someone else. Yeah, like your code can be edited by someone else, and you have to understand what someone else did, or your job, your project is taken over by someone else, and you're gonna make sure they are going to understand it. So yeah, commenting example: to comment in Python, place a star at the start of the line. Okay, and this is a example of a comment. It is ignored by the compiler. So commenting program header. For every program that you write, should begin with a proper header. So, this is example of a program header. It was not mentioned, but yeah, this is just, you do not have to include this, but because you do not actually want someone copy your code. So yeah, you could add those as a header, or you know like who is responsible for this and those sort of things. Okay, and it seems like variables with like those underscores, and that is also a convention. Okay, and output to a monitor. There are various ways that a computer can output to us, and the most simple way is through the monitor. And where we output text using Python, it is just the print function. The text must be contained within double quotes. Okay, and then strings. Yeah, the text must be contained within the double quotes or a single quote, as I have mentioned before. Type of variables: string is a sequence of characters. Strings are bounded by double quotation marks, and it could be also bounded by single quotation marks. You can use them auto changeably. An integer is a whole number that can be positive, negative, or zero. So yeah, that is not new. And a floating point number is a number that contains decimal places. So 3.45653 is an example of a floating number. And Boolean is just the two alternatives, true or false. So yeah, and this is the exercise. Create a simple program that uses 6 print statements, one for each line of the entry that is listed below, and use commenting code to explain the output of each print statement. Okay, so this is the exercise slash homework. I will post it later in the Discord as well. And yeah, so there is 13 minutes left for today's lecture. I am just gonna wonder if there is any further questions, or if not, then it would be a good chance for you guys to install Python yourself. Okay, and any questions? Oh, I mean, for those ones who are late, so this notebook, I have already dropped a link in Discord, and both of those two links are ways to install Python 3. The first link is their official website. You can download it if you have like Linux or Mac. But if you are using Windows, it should be better if we just use the one in Microsoft Store, because it handles problems like creating environmental paths or those, kind of dirty stuff that you just do not want to work with. Because when I was installing it, because before I was pretty much a beginner, and it takes like 2 or 3 hours to actually configure that. So that is painful. Environment should not be the main thing that is blocking our studying in programming languages. So yeah, so that's that. And if you already have Python installed, you can do those exercises if you want. So yeah, any questions, feel free to type it in the chat. Otherwise, try to install Python. If you have any problems installing it, also leave a message in the chat. Otherwise, you can do the practice questions. Okay, sounds good to everyone. Yeah, I am gonna post it right away. Let me download this. Intro Python. Yeah, I am just gonna send it right now in the Discord. Documents. Just gonna save it as a desktop for now. Yeah, so I just uploaded it, and you can see the slides. Right now, I'm just gonna upload I'm just gonna create a new repository in GitHub, and hopefully you guys can access it later. So C Python class. set this up in desktop. Yeah, so I just uploaded this on GitHub, and then you can just after you look at those, you can just do open collab. Okay, and once you click open in collab, then it should jump the link. Yeah, so here it jumps to the link there. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so is there any questions in terms of installing Python, or in terms of those those practices? Okay, so if there are no questions, and I can conclude today's lecture. Okay, sure. So I'm just gonna stop share the screen. And yeah, so the practice is just I have already sent them out on Discord, and yeah, I hope that you get more used to Python more by now than yesterday. So yeah, hope you guys have a great day. I am gonna end this this Zoom meeting. See you.